Hello, everybody. How's it going? I hope that you're all doing well. I know in the Patreon Discord I said that I was maybe going to dress up if I had time to come up with something last minute, and I did not. It seems like this week has been just absolutely nuts for me, so um, yeah, so I'm going down to PlayOn on Sunday, which is a drive through the mountains. So the car's in the shop today, getting its brakes done. It's just like routine maintenance type stuff. So getting its brakes done and getting all checked out, make sure that it's all safe. And also, I've got a team tournament the day before I leave, so I have also been stress painting for that and play on because I'm smart and I'm just bringing the same list for once. So yeah, so I've got to paint these guys. I have to finish the basing on these guys. Also, on top of that, like this top-down camera, as you all know, has been giving me issues for months. So I'm trying a new setup with it. Basically, what I'm doing is normally I have a giant ring light on here, but the ring light was making it so, I don't know, it was like messing with the cable or something and making it so like disconnect, connect, disconnect, connect. So I took the ring light off of the tripod and we're gonna just try it. So I know it's not as clear and bright as it normally is, but I'm hoping we can make it work. I'm hoping, so I'm not going to be streaming next week because I'm going to be at PlayOn. But I'm hoping for the week after I'll be able to figure out something that will work with my fancy camera. I did try and set it up today, but like this tripod is not going to work for it. It's just like a bit too heavy. But I do have this, well, I put it away, but I have another, like more heavy duty, but less like telescopic kind of tripod. I'm gonna try it with that and see if I can maybe get an angle that's gonna work. But until now, this will just have to do. Hello, Jeff. How's it going? Sullen, you're fine. Oh, yay! I'm glad that everything's coming in loud and clear. And Inquisitor, good afternoon. How's it going? So if you can hear the dog barking at some point and being annoying, it's because my husband is getting picked up to go pick up our car. So, preface that. So, these are my Dogosaur bombs. This is what we're going to be working on stream today. And so what I've done is I have done a base coat of Amaranth Red by Model Color. And then on top of that, I did Monument Hobbies Pro Acrylic Orange and then Cassandora Yellow Wash. But what I want to do today is I want to do a little bit of work on their mouths. So I'm going to start by carefully painting in some Bugman's Glow inside of the mouth. And then on this guy, I want to wet blend the Bugman's Glow out to Monument Hobbies Blue because I want to bring some of that blue into my Dogosaur bombs. You can see he's got a little bit of his tongue sticking out here too. So we're going to try and do a little bit in there, although I'm not sure how much I'll actually be able to accomplish on this one. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this Bugman's Glow into the palette. Oh yeah, I also ruined one of my brushes by painting on super glue. Whoops. So that one's toast. So I actually grab another brush here. Let's go in. I'm gonna do some, this guys are pretty small, so I'm gonna grab one of these smaller ones. So this is the Michael Klein Paintings by Rosemary & Co., and this is number 2. I normally don't like to work with these tiny brushes. However, it's not as dry here. Like, it's still a desert, but it's not as dry now that it's fall, so I think that I can work with these smaller brushes and it should be fine. So, pretty nice little brushes, actually. And they're, I think, like, what do they work out to? Like $3.50? $3.50 for a brush? Not too bad. Oh, I should have made a new palette. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Hey, Solar, how's it going? I hope that you're doing well. Tanya using a small brush? Madness. Yeah, well, these guys are really tiny, so. But if it was the summer, no way. No way would I be using this brush. I'm just going to put a little bit of this Bugman's Glow into the palette. I'm going to go ahead and start carefully painting the mouth. I also got a last minute invitation to digitally hang out with Nurgle Snurgle tonight. So excited. I get to finally meet Snurgle in person next week. And she is one of my favorite people in content creator land. I'm so excited that I get to introduce her to my Play on Tabletop family. I think they're going to love her. Could put a little bit too much water in this paint, but that's okay because we're going to wash it and then do some wet blending and highlights and stuff after. So as long as this color gets into the recesses, we're good to go. That's good for now. We'll put that guy aside and work on the other one. Although I think for him, it's going to be a little bit trickier. So I'm going to put a little bit more Bugman's Glow in here to stop the paint from breaking. Solar says, I'm at the day job moving boxes. STEM degree paint off? Yeah, I think you mean payoff? Yeah, when I was in school, I got to like the second year of my university degree, and I was like, why am I doing this? I'm not going to be able to get a job in my field. Because even like 20 years ago, that was still, people were still talking about it. You know, us millennials, our parents always told us, you know, you got to go get a job, you got to go to school so you can get a good job. And then when I was in school, I started hearing people start saying, like, well, I got this education and I can't work in my field because I don't have experience. So I dropped out. Sometimes I do regret it just because I love learning and like it's a great experience to actually learn stuff, but I'm really glad that I didn't put myself into too much debt chasing a pipe dream essentially. But I would like to just go back to school just to learn stuff. But unfortunately, it's not in the cards, too expensive. So I just spend a lot of time researching and like listening to smarter people than myself on podcasts. STEM degree totally worth it. I mean, it's more worth it than the arts, which is where I was in. 30,000 in student loans and no degree because it took me forever to realize that school just isn't for me. Yeah, like I kind of wish that um I kind of wish that we'd kind of wake up to the realities of higher education. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of this Monument Hobbies blue into my palette, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of a wet blend on the tongue in the back. If I'd known that my bills would end up being paid by driving a forklift, I would have spent 60 grand on a house. Yeah, I actually wish that instead of going to school, I would have just continued working because I was also working full time. So I would have just worked full time and put that money towards a down payment on an apartment or something. I own my little townhouse now, and that's probably one of my greatest accomplishments of my life. It's like one of the things that I look back on, and I'm like, that was a great idea. Deciding to um, deciding to buy this house when we did. If we tried to buy a house now, I don't think we'd be able to afford it. Well, I mean, we bought this place and it's over doubled its value since we bought it. It's ridiculous. So I wanted there to be a little bit of blue on these because that's the actual color of my orcs. So this first wet blend doesn't have to be perfect because everything is going to be getting a wash in the back here. Um, just want to get like a little bit of a gradient going on. Let's be real. I'd have spent it on minis. Yeah. Dumb question here. There's no dumb questions. If you had to choose one paint brand to use, but you're never allowed to use another brand again, what brand are you choosing? That's evil, because I like all of them. And I know that I'm a Monument Hobbies affiliate, and I love their stuff. But I guess I have to say, um, Model Color by Vallejo, specifically Model Color. And that's just because I think in general they're the most okay at every application, right? So in general, most colors are pretty good um for base coats, and I can glaze with them. Yeah, that's what I would have to say. The only reason why Monument Hobbies I wouldn't choose is just because they're kind of difficult to glaze with. And that's it. I have not tried glazing with a medium with them yet, um, but could try that. Dr. Rhino says, important news. I believe we will all be in Vancouver on Sunday. You, me, and Snurgle. Dr. Rhino. What time are you going to be there? Are you leaving on Sunday, or are you going to be there all day on Sunday? Because I will probably be rolling in the afternoon, probably. Just because I don't know what the weather's going to be like on the mountain passes, so I don't want to be like, oh, it takes me 5 hours to get there, and then be like, oh, wait, I'm stuck in a snow shed somewhere. Also, it depends how exhausted I am after the team tournament the day before. Liquid text because I'm a cheater. That's not cheating. That's having a preference. Inquisitor says, see, I keep asking painters this question, and they usually say that about Pro Acryl, and most also say model color as well. Yeah, like model color, I mean, all paint brands are good at some things and then like not as good at other things. So, in my opinion, model color does everything okay. Yeah. But for base coats, I usually end up going for Pro Acryl. But they're like my model color is really good for layers, like layer highlights. Dr. Rhino says I leave Monday afternoon, so like maybe group meal on Sunday. Heck yeah, I would love that. I would love to hang out with the Rhino himself. Citadel's good at taking your money. So I always say this, and there are some Citadel colors that I won't be without. Granted, the list is very small, and they tend to be neutral colors. Um, but I really like Baraknar Burgundy. I like Mephiston Red, Bugman's Glow, Baneblade Brown, Xandri Dust, Rhinox Hide and Dryad Bark, Mechanicus Standard Gray. There's a few other ones. But like, oh, Rakarth Flesh also. Like, there's just some I can't be without. I also really like the Space Wolf kind of muted grays, like Rust Gray, stuff like that. But in general, my Citadel collection keeps shrinking as the colors I don't use often turn into little rubber balls. Also, Iron Warriors, Lead Belcher, Warp Block Bronze. Like, there's some metallics in the Citadel range that I really like too. Solar says, Vallejo model color, the ultramarines of mini paint. It's true, they just are pretty good at everything. 100% agree. There are some Citadel paints that are good. For the most part, I like their shades. Yes, I love their shades. Just so pricey. Once I figured out how to make my own contrast medium, I was off to the races. Yeah, I don't really use medium, and I don't use contrast. So maybe my choice for number one paint brand would change if I used those kind of styles of paint. But my husband does use those contrasty styles, and he prefers express color. Again, Vallejo. I will say also, if you're like really sad at how Citadel did Nuln Oil dirty, this is great. This is really good. I'm not a big fan of the brown wash. I feel like their brown wash isn't as pigmented. But it's really good if you're needing to wash like bone or teeth, tusks, that kind of thing. But this black wash is very similar to Old Nuln Oil. Um, yeah, and I feel like it's a pretty big volume for way less money than Citadel gives you. So, um, this is great. I really like that. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know if you all can see kind of the blend into the back. I'm gonna hit this guy's little tongue here with a bit of blue. And I actually don't think I need to blend because I can't see the back of his mouth. But Doc, we should totally go for a group meal. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling like a little bit worried this morning about my car getting a brakes done. Because I was like, oh man, what if they get in there and they find a whole bunch of other stuff that's wrong? It's gonna cost me a friggin' fortune. Um, and but they were done like before they quoted us being done. So usually that's a good sign that there's nothing else wrong. Okay. So I'm gonna let this guy dry, and I'm gonna go in and start doing the washes here. Um, let's see. Inquisitor says, with Citadel, I love their washes and contrast. There's a few colors I like Corax White. Okay. Rakarth Rush, Iron Breaker, Screamer Pink. Yeah, like there's some great Citadel paints. So I think it's really funny when people just like blanket hate on all of them. The paint pots, yes, we can all hate on the paint pots. Um, but some of the paints themselves are very good. The Flesh and Black Wash are my faves too. I didn't get the Flesh Wash, and I'm kind of regretting it. I kind of think I would have gotten more use out of that than I would the brown, but I guess there's always the next order that I make. Hey, Mr. Fish, happy Monday. Is that the bomb Dogosaur? He's real big. Really, you think he's big? I had to like zoom this camera in so much. Like that's my thumbnail. He's not gigantic, is he? I haven't seen like the GW bomb squigs, so I don't know. Like, are they huge? I think they're kind of little and cute. Okay, so I'm going to need. Where's my flesh shade? What's this one? Nope, not sepia. There it is. Also, I got a new Drakenhof Nightshade and it's shiny, so these guys are gonna get like a hella matte coat, so it's not a big deal, but it kind of bothers me that like all of this is so shiny. I'm gonna fix it with a clear coat, but still, it's hard to like kind of see if your highlights are where you want them to be when it's so glossy. But yeah, got these guys mostly done. I just got to do their bases today. Then they get their clear coat and they're good to go. Okay. Dr. Rhino, you're painting squigs too, but the little ones that hang out with Gits. Oh, the little cuties. The little kitties. Also, Gear Guts is having a big sale. So today and tomorrow are your last days to get 20% off minis and 40% off of STL downloads at the store. And if you're a patron of Gear Guts Max Shop, then you get an extra discount on STLs. So, we try to make it worth it for patrons to still be able to shop older designs that they may have missed out on during the sales. That's what we like to do. Um, Dr. Rhino says, buy the goods. That's right. That is right. One of the most like rewarding things for me as the manager of the affiliate program is seeing my affiliates get their first sales and like getting so excited about it, or getting their first payouts and getting excited about it. Mr. Fish got his first payout this week. Oh, I love it. I mean payout, but he's like me, he just gets more models. I literally just use, like, I'm seriously just saving up my money so that I can get like a mech baby, which is the size of a Stompa. I'm feeling like I want a big orc project soon, so but now I have the problem of next month we're releasing a lot of really big stompy robots, which are my favorite, and now I finally have like enough to get one, but now I can't decide which one I want. Yep, super excited. Yeah, Mr. Fish. It just makes me so happy to see people get excited about my affiliates and want to, like, you know, help them get to their custom bosses and stuff. Okay. That's a big old mouth. While I'm waiting for, actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of a purple wash on the tongue, I think. Purple. We got some Druchii Violet. Um, Mr. Fish says the mech baby dump this morning definitely shook me. The mech baby dump. The context is everything. I was like, dang, boss wants chunky boys on the table. Yeah, there's a few of those coming next month. Well, I can't say that they'll all come out next month, but I mean, there's a lot in the queue waiting to be released. Hey, Rob, how's it going? I hope that you're doing well. So I put there's like an enhanced shuffle that you can get through Spotify now. And for some reason on this one playlist that I have, it keeps giving me like spooky like spooky demonic sounding songs. So this song needs to be changed for sure. That's better. I'll listen to a little Frontline Assembly instead. Okay. And now, while I'm waiting for those washes to dry, I'm going to go ahead and I like to paint the squig's eyes just black. Just little beady little black eyes. So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of black into the palette to to paint those in. And this doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be doing highlights over top. But orange over black is kind of difficult, so I'm going to try and be as careful as possible, but I'm not going to sweat it if I get outside of the lines. Dr. Rhino, Tanya, my community is going ham on the Gear Guts purchases. They really want to see me made into a pain boy. Ooh, I don't think that we actually have a custom boss pain boy. Well, we call them medics. The equivalent of a pain boy. Rob, I'm good. I'm good. I'm like stress painting for a tournament and play on tabletop right now, so it's really, you know, it's I mean, it's stressful. Stress painting is stressful. I think that I'm on good time because once I finish these two guys, the bases for those Squigog boys, then I just have a runt herd and a beast snag knob to do. So it's like it's totally doable. It's just I also on Wednesday have the last of my Age of Sigmar League games to play. And then what else? Oh yeah, then I just need to study. Maybe get another game or two in. You know, I've got stuff to do. It's always just a really busy time for me going to play on. And I'm really nervous about the team tournament because I just really don't want to let my team down by being bad at the game. However, I did pretty good in my last 40k league game. Was playing against a pretty solid meta Custodes list, and like my list is not meta. I can't do it. I just always have to play at least one stupid unit that is like not meta good, but I have to bring it because I love it, and I love when people get to the table and it's like, what's that? So in this list, what's that is my Mechadren. A lot of people be like, never seen one of those before. What does it do? You know, it's okay. It's just okay. You know, it shoots a little bit. It shoots better than other things. It punches okay. It punches okay. So anyway, I lost that game by 3 points, and I felt really quite accomplished. And I made a couple mistakes in that game too. So if I would have moved my one unit of Grots a little bit better, I think I would have won by 5 points. So I would have had 5. No, I would have won by 2 points because I would have held one objective one turn longer. Okay, so there's his little beady eyes are on. I actually have quite a bit of black in my palette, so I'm just going to paint these little black straps here. I'm going to do his little belly band in brown though, instead of black. It's so weird painting with a tiny brush. I know a lot of people don't consider this a tiny brush, but for me it is okay. Rob says, I get that. Now that I've fleshed out my roster a bit more, I definitely follow more in your style than doing the I maxed out the number of good units I can bring cause meta. Yeah, and I think sometimes, like, if you just go too hard into one thing, you'll come across a matchup that is just the perfect counter to that one thing. So, in those cases, I do think it's, like, better to bring a little bit of other things. So I'm going to paint these little metallic bits on the buckle here because I find metallic paints go over black a lot better than any other color. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit these as well. There we go on that side. Gonna do this side next. What size is it? What size is what? Hey, Mubin, how's it going? How are you doing, my friend? I'm so excited to see you. At what point does fun start to depend on victory? I think it depends on the person. I mean, I don't like to play a game if I know that I can't win, right? Like, the whole point for me in playing is to, like, figure out the win condition and see if I can accomplish that. So, if there was no chance of winning, it would be equally as unfun. Inquisitor says, so I'm late to saying this, but I was talking to the owner of the company I work for. If I had to suggest one contrast paint for you to try, Tanya, it's Black Legion, an easy one coat black. But I prime everything black, so like, are you saying that I could put Black Legion over this? Like, this is one coat. I don't think I need anything else, right? And this is my favorite black. Also, we're talking about paint brands and, like, people crap on them without trying them. This is my favorite black. Like, this black is phenomenal. It is highly pigmented. It covers in one coat. It is a nice in between matte and satin finish. It's just a perfect black to me. And everybody wants to be like, "Ew, Army Painter's so bad." And it's like, yeah, it's like any other brand. Some of their colors are really bad, but this one is my absolute favorite. Um, but yeah, this one covers in one coat. I think it's fine, right? Mubin says, I'm doing all right, just editing away today. Definitely excited to have you in studio next week. Eee. How many days are you here for? Not many, because I need to get home to do work stuff and take care of my dog. So I'm coming in on the Sunday, probably in the afternoon, but it depends what the Coquihalla looks like. Um, and I'm gonna be filming on the Monday, and then I have to leave on the Tuesday. But the time at which I leave sort of depends what the weather is looking like that day. So if the weather is supposed to be real bad, I'll leave early. If it's not supposed to be too bad, then I might stay and leave in the afternoon. Um, Solar says, I'm so glad that I know that you're talking about paint. Context is everything. Uh, okay, back to the task at hand. Let's finish up these little straps here carefully. Movin says, "Oh right, you got to deal with the Coquihalla. Gross." Here's hoping. Also, you spelled Coquihalla right. I'm so proud of you. Do you know how many years it took me to learn how to spell Coquihalla right? Here's hoping the weather plays nice so we can have plenty of time to hang out. I agree. It's always kind of like you're rolling the dice this time of year. And yeah, I guess I could take the Crow's Nest Pass, but the last time I took the Crow's Nest Pass, it was full of like foot deep potholes and like I almost wrecked my car. So I don't really want to take the Crow's Nest Pass. Oh, wait, did I actually spell it right? You did! You did spell it right. That's why I'm like major impressed. Nikki, hey everyone, I'm gonna start stress painting now. Hey, join the club. I'm also stress painting. We'll be stress painting for 4 days. Crow's Nest is very hit or miss. Yeah, like, I mean, if you know the weather is just real bad on the Coquihalla, um, then you gotta take the Crow's Nest, but yeah, I have like, I have bad memories of taking the Crow's Nest Pass. Beautiful though. It's a beautiful drive. It's just my car can't handle potholes that are like deeper than its clearance, you know? Well, Moomin, you've seen my car, my little tiny car. I can't handle potholes like that. Um, that's not a pothole, that's a damn crater. Welcome to Canada. Uh, Moomin stress painting is the only way I paint. I feel the same way, unfortunately. Um, Nikki's first tournament ever is Saturday. Make sure to leave best wishes for an absolutely great time. I hope that you have a great time. My first tournament was very stressful for me because I have social anxiety. Um, but I mean, obviously it was a good enough time that made me want to do it again. Mr. Fish says, now that I'm not driving, back to what I was talking about with the bomb doggo, do you have that in 25 or 32? Because modern bomb squig barely fills a 25. That's a 25. It's just a token, right? So, yeah, he's on a 25 mil. Jeff says, for once I'm not stress painting. I have this tournament in January and I'm working on the minis a little bit at a time, well in advance. I'm almost concerned I may be unwell. uh, Jeff, well, I'm proud of you for not procrastinating and biting it all in tiny, manageable bites. Ruben says, yeah, I usually end up going around to Karamias at least once a year, and that drive is great. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. My car's in the same boat. Yeah, our car's about the same size. Um, Nikki says, I saved all of my sister's faces to paint until the end. Oh, faces are usually one of the first parts that I paint. Um, I like to think of it like a topographic map. So I like to paint the most sort of valleys, the most hard to get at places, or normally that'll be like skin, because clothes go on top of skin, right? So I'll paint skin first. Patrick says, I lost my dice the night before my first tournament and in a panic bought 3 copies of Yahtzee in the local game store before the tournament. Oh no! Oh. Speaking of Squigs, I need Clonk. I think we all need Clonk. He's such a cutie. Mr. Fish says, yeah, just a token. Okay, I thought you had him on a 32, and I was like, whoa, that's a damn orkin size. No, he's on a 25. He's on a 25. I mean, he could fit. He could fit on a 32. I'm sorry you can't see. I'm just cleaning up one line that's really hard to get at. Also, I'm half blind, so there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on this guy. Oh, they have a little strap around their bottom. I better do that too. Moomin. Okay, I gotta lurk because I'm starving and need to eat. Okay, Moomin, thank you for lurking. Can't wait to see you. Also, for me, Moomin is one of those people that I felt like we became good friends really quick. I tend to be a little bit like closed off from new people, but Mubin is just so nice. I think also he could like smell my social anxiety the first time we met. Uh, like took me under his little social butterfly wing. Nikki, that's great advice, Tanya. I will have to do that moving forward. So the reason why I do it that way is because I hate doing touch-ups. I will avoid it at all cost. Um, so I find that when I make boo-boos when I'm painting, I tend to like knock the parts that are like higher in the topographical map. So if I start at the bottom of the topographical map, I can make all the little mistakes that I want, and I'm gonna inevitably come back and fix those mistakes when I do the next layer highlight. I will show you something I'm very disappointed in though. I was painting these guys and they don't fit in any of my handles. So I painted them and everything was great. And then I was putting the last touches on them yesterday, and then all of the primer on the base started to come off on my hands, and I didn't realize it. And then I started to touch them, and it like transferred all of this black primer onto the model. Here. But I don't really have the time to fix it, and it's over top of colors that are difficult to fix. This one's pretty bad on the back. But I figured, you know what, they're orcs. It's fine. We'll just leave it the way it is. And if people want to, I don't know, make a fuss about it, then too bad. They're not your models. Don't need to care about it. So I was very disappointed because I worked very hard at getting that orange in particular, like really crisp and clean. But moving on. What can you do? What can you do? Um, yeah, it's always nice having movement around you guys. Okay. It looks awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I think that like the colors that I chose and things, I think it'll make it. I think people probably won't notice all the transfer, but maybe some of them will. Who knows? But if I spend all my time chasing perfect on these minis, I'm never gonna get anything done. So, and getting it done is the most important part for me. Man, and it's so sunny and beautiful. It's cold. It's cold. It's like 2 degrees Celsius. But it's beautiful and sunny out. I can't wait to get out and do my walk, my first walk of the day. I'm also gonna have to re-record my. I was gonna record what you call it, Breast General last weekend, but I had like a bit of a medical issue, and so I had to run around town on a Sunday to try my best to find a pharmacy that was open. Went to like 4 pharmacies. Anyway, by the time we finally, that's a small town living, man. Nothing's open past like 5 o'clock. So I finally found one, but by the time I had like gotten my medicine and started to feel better, like it was really late. I was like, I'm not gonna record now. This is stupid. Like I'm flustered and I'm not feeling well, and so I decided not to. But I need to re-record, like I need to reschedule it to record cuz I've come up with like a bunch of revelations, I guess is like the right um guess that's like the right term, about the whole trying to get better at Warhammer process, and I really want to talk to Alex about it. These little guys are so cute. Solar Gray, not your models. Mind if I make that as... Yes, go ahead. I should just get a shirt that says not your models. That way the next time somebody says, they're not grim dark enough, just point to the shirt. Not your models. I was also thinking about getting some merch made for lady gamers with the tagline, not here to flirt. So that they could wear it to the game to the game store and they maybe not get harassed. I don't get harassed. I think it's because of a few different reasons. I think I exude like don't F with me energy. Um I also think that at least in my local area, most people know like, hey, she's married and not really not really into talking about, you know, her relationship or whatnot. Um, but also, like, being old is awesome. In general, like, you just get to live your life in peace. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. But I do feel for all those ladies out there who say that they do kind of, they're not, they're basically like not able to just exist in peace in the game store. So I was thinking about making like a little fun merch line for the ladies. For all 10 of us out there, play at the game store. Uh, I mean, it's got to be like a $20 idea, right? Nothing is open past 5. That just described my state. Uh huh. um, Mr. Fish, did you start all the orange on the Dogosaurs just to contrast complement your blue army? Um, No, actually, I started off with Gear Guts, the Boss Mark IV, because I had a mostly blue one, and then I had a black one with blue accents. Um, and oh, that's not true either, because my first Warmistress War Boss had the orange Dogosaurs. I think I just really wanted to use that orange, honestly, and then I was like, oh, it actually looks quite nice with the blue. So that's probably why I don't really put that much thought into my color schemes. It's mostly just like I want to use this paint. Um uh yeah, Nikki, is that yes please to the not here to flirt shirts? Um Mr. Fish says, I refer to my style as grim bright, or the world as viewed from the perception of Pyro from Team Fortress 2. I do not understand the reference. I don't really play video games. Um, feel like the people have spoken on the shirt. In the middle of a divorce. I'm also older, but people can't tell. I would wear all the merch. Uh, $25 is standard. I paid 35 for one. Oh my gosh, I guess I'm gonna have to make these shirts that I've been thinking about for a while. Mr. Fish, I live my life by the famous line of Red Green. If they don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Yeah, I am not handsome or handy. I've always just kind of been like, as Eddie Murphy would say, the funny ugly bish. Um, so I guess I have a nice personality. Rob, I thought I was bad at everything. Oh, I thought it was bad that everything in my state closes at 10. No, a lot of places everything closes at 5, and it sucks. Happy accident on the paint field is a big win. Yeah, I normally don't overthink my color choices, you know. Um, okay, well, I will give more thought to that. So the problem with merch is like I have to hire somebody to create it for me. Because I tried using Illustrator and it is not for me. That learning curve on that program is too much. It's too much. Um, you do have a great personality. Yes, personality doesn't age. Excellent. When I'm doing these sort of like high contrast breaks between colors, like I tend to hold my breath because I don't want to have to fix it later. So if you hear me breathing heavy, that's why. It's a lot more difficult to do this belly band because both of this dude's feet are on the base. Okay. Ooh, we did it. I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting on these little guys' tongues. I'm going to put a little bit more of this Monument Hobbies blue into the palette. I'm going to put some of the sky blue, this is the color of the orcs. The ASMR of painting with anxiety happy hour. Yeah. I do enjoy like the quiet painters on Twitch, like the ones that talk really quietly and have the relaxing music. It's not my vibe. I'm too yang for that. My energy is just too yang. However, I do enjoy when other people do that. I'm just gonna add just a little bit of this lighter blue. It's kind of at the tip of the tongue here. And I'm probably not going to do any on the bottom. I'll just do a little on the top here. Just a teeny tiny, tiny little bit here of the sky blue. Yeah, I don't want to go too far on these guys because they are just tokens. Meant to explode. Okay. So on this guy, actually I think I have to do it on both of them. I just need to put a little bit more of this Bugman's Glow on some of these kind of web areas. Just to highlight them up a little bit, but I don't need to do too much. Just a little bit on the outside here. And then I'll throw some Baneblade Brown on the teeth, which I only have. I asked a friend to pick one up for me. He got me the Air Baneblade Brown. So it's a bit thin and it takes me a little bit to get a halfway decent base coat, but I just basically need it in the recesses because I'm gonna mix highlights with ivory for the teeth. Let's get caught up on the chat here. Jeff says, all right, 5 of 22 models for the tournament painted. Still need to base them, but I tend to put that off until the end and just do them all at once. I do like to do bases kind of as a group because you got to get all this extra stuff out usually, and it's kind of messy sometimes. So I feel ya. Inquisitor says, I decided I'm going to commit and buy the base set of Pro Acryl paints. Ask the wife for it for Christmas. I mean, I hope you like them. I love them for base coats. Yeah, like golden yellow is a color I use a lot. I'm trying to think. I don't think that one's in there. I'm trying to think what's in there. Is blue gray in that one? Or dark gray blue? That's it. Dark gray blue. I use that one. That one covers amazing. Um, the dark grays also cover like incredibly. um, Jeff says, I still need to acquire some of the models for the lists as I'm playing a faction that I haven't fully fleshed out yet, but I've got time and trade credit at work. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish what I was doing here. So I'm so proud of myself. Today I actually had breakfast before streaming. So I don't have to sit here and feel ill the entire time. Good job being a functioning adult, Tanya. Good job. Oh, also, our team jerseys had a misprint at the manufacturer, so we were all thinking that our jerseys were not going to get here in time for the tournament, and we were all big sad. However, the manufacturers put the hustle on it, and they are in the mail, and they should be here midweek, and I'm so excited that we're going to have jerseys. I got two, because at 2-day events, sometimes I get real sweaty because anxiety, so I got two, just in case. Um, Jeff says, I'm flying to Vegas for this event my buddy is putting on. I'm looking forward to it. Vegas is actually really fun for gaming. Is anyone here going to LVO? I'm going and participating in the narrative event. I am not going. I went last year to help out with the stream. Now this year, I think I'm not sure who's putting on the stream. And yeah, where I am in my life, I just don't want to play like 18 bazillion games all at once. So I wouldn't actually mind going and doing the doubles event one year. I think that would be really fun. Or going to play Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar players have all of the fun and they don't leave any fun for anyone else. So, but yeah, so for me, unfortunately, not this year. Maybe next year. Well, I guess next year. Year after next. Inquisitor says, right now I use Jade and Bright Jade, but been very impressed, and I keep hearing people talk up the range. Yeah, so the orange that I use is nice. It definitely takes like a few coats to build up the color, but most of the paints that I have are not like that. Most of the paints are like cover in one go, but honestly, if you were painting over not black, I think that it would be a lot better, but I always prime black. So, but that's the only kind of color I've had that issue with. All the other ones color in like one pass, like one coat. Um Rob says, I want to go to LVO someday. Probably not the next one though. Yeah, I think it's worth it to save money to make sure that you can do it right. There's like lots of people who, want to party and stuff, and yeah, I don't think that I would want to go to the super major. I'd probably want to do one of the more casual style events. It's probably what I would want to do. I have many friends who do the competitive super major, and I just know that like I would have to manage my arthritis really well. Like if I had one day where I just forgot to manage myself, I would be too wrecked to continue, and then I'd feel like I wasted my trip. Um, so I think I'd have to practice doing more bigger tournaments, making sure that I can manage myself. Um, but I don't know if my team wanted to go, because I think there's a team tournament there too. If my team wanted to go and play in the team tournament, I'd probably want to do that. That'd be super fun. I love this guy's little smile. He's so cute. Let's see here. Let's get caught. Jeff says, I had plans on going to LVO, but word is that they weren't terribly kind to the Infinity TOs last year, so there's no Infinity at LVO anymore. Hence my friend running a different event instead. Um, I think that it's really difficult running a big event like that, and as somebody last year who um was not playing, but more like privy to what goes on behind the scenes. I don't think anybody would have meant to make the Infinity players feel some kind of way. I just feel like um, it's just things kind of get passed by, right? Like I feel like there should have been more coordinators for the overall tournament organizers or the event organizers to delegate stuff to. I think that would have been better. Um, and then I think less things probably would have got passed by. But that's, I mean, I don't know what the drama was, but if I had to guess, it probably has something to do with that. Um, doubles would be super fun. Doubles is my favorite way to play, but I haven't played team tournament yet. So everybody says team tournament is the way to play, and I get to experience it this weekend. So I guess I'll come back and let you know if doubles is still my favorite or if team tournament is the way to go. Solar says, well, Poop, with neither you or Moobin going, I've no serious reason to go to LVO. Yeah, it's just expensive. Like, I don't make a ton of money and I live in Canada where it's just like really expensive to just exist. Um, so, but I am saving money. So we'll see what happens next year. The other thing too is like almost everything sells out right away. So, I got to get my poop in a group and kind of figure out what I would want to play so that I can get in there on release day and buy the tickets. This little guy is so cute. It's too bad he's gonna explode. Jeff says, I seriously doubt it was intentional, but I have zero details. Just the scuttlebutt was that he was unhappy and didn't want to run it again. I'm passing no judgments on anyone, to be sure. Yeah, I think that just like, I think just sometimes that stuff happens, and yeah, I'm sure that there's no ill will between anybody. And like being a TO is hard. It's hard work. Being an event organizer of any sort is difficult. Um, and it's very thankless work. So, if you enjoy going to events and there's somebody who like always runs them in your local area, I don't know, do something nice for them. Because a lot of times all they hear is how everything is bad and they never hear about the stuff that's good. And nobody ever says thank you. So this first cover of Baneblade Brown doesn't really need to be super precise because I am going to be washing it and putting highlights on it, but I do like to make sure that at least in like the recesses, it's pretty opaque. So that guy's good. I'm gonna go through and do this guy now. And this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult because I'm gonna have to paint the insides of the teeth, like in the inside of the mouth. So yeah. Mr. Fish says technically bomb squigs exploding is part of their reproductive cycle, so definitely don't pity the guy for exploding. But he's so cute. Jeff says I've known several major events that have just ended because the TOs just got burnt out because it's such hard, thankless work. It's true. Aw, thank you, Nikki. I am really quite fond of the orange and the blue together. I really like bright, like obnoxious, clashing color schemes. Which I think is funny because my first army is very safe. It's just like green and gray guardsmen. But all my other armies are like pretty bright. But I started my guardsmen back when I didn't really have a style of painting that I really felt was mine. I was just developing my skills and finding what I liked. So, and I'm not going to go back and repaint it because that's so much work. I'm just going to add to it. Maybe put some more like orangey, red highlights on more stuff. We'll see. So with the teeth, I'm just going to wash the inside of them. I'm probably not going to do too much for highlights on them, except maybe put a little bit of Baneblade Brown on the inside to brighten up the bits that are easily seen, which is basically just that one. But yeah, I think after I come back from Play On, I'm gonna pivot a little bit. I want to paint a little bit of Mythos stuff because I just really like that game and I want to play more. I really do feel like I'm starting to understand the play style of the Priory, which is my warband that I have. But I want to explore some of the other play styles because all I've seen is my warband, and I know what my husband's warband can do. And they play so differently, so I'm really quite interested to see what these other two warbands do. So I think maybe sometime next month we'll do a stream where I go through the rules and I'll pick one of the two warbands that I have after I read the rules, and then we'll assemble them on stream. I think that could be fun. Guys, he's so cute. Also, did I mention I really love these brushes? These Rosemary & Co. ones. Specifically the Michael Klein painting ones. Also, I bought more expensive ones than this, and I do not like them as much, which I find hilarious. Oh man, I'm like way over time. Way. Okay, I'm gonna finish up these little teefies, and then I'm gonna have to call it just because I have like a ton of stuff I've got to do today. But I am going to post pictures of these guys and those Primal Bruiser Dogosaur riders. I'm going to post them in the Discord. I know I'm really bad at posting on Instagram. But, oh man, I also have like grot tanks to post on Instagram. Social media has been really difficult lately. It's just every time I log in, it's an ad, or it's like, look at how awful the world is. So it's really difficult for me to like actually care to go onto social media these days. I'm very, very grateful that I have our little Discord community where I can share stuff, and you all are super nice and remind me that good people are in the world still. Feeling very grateful for everybody in that little community that we have going on there. Nikki, it was nice to hang out. It's so great to have you here and to have you in the Discord. It's always great to have new faces in there. Hearing about everybody's like hobby journeys and gaming journeys. I love hearing everybody's stories and hearing what they're up to. I kind of live in an area that doesn't have that much going on in terms of like events and things like that. So it's I love hearing about everybody else's sort of like exploits. Also, this time of year is always like a little spooky for me, and I know it's like haha, it's Halloween or whatever, but I spend quite a bit of time outside, as some of you may know. I have arthritis, and so I have to walk a lot in order to keep my joints moving as freely as possible. Um, and like it's got a spooky vibe lately. Coyotes were out last night when we did our 11 o'clock p.m. walk. Gotta walk before bed. And so the dog was spooked, and the other night too, there was like a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Like domestic weirdness going on. It seemed like every other house on the street was like yelling at each other. It's like this is so bizarre. So like it does not pass the vibe check. I will not be doing anything tomorrow on Halloween. I will be. Also, there was a tire fire near my house. Like there's a so they do like I know I said that I was gonna leave soon, but story time. Um 11 p.m. walk. I am. So basically they have go-kart racing. Not like oh I pay money and go to the go-kart track. Like this is like competitive go-kart racing. So they have that at the arena that's really close to my house. And so they have a bunch of tires that they use to make like the walls of the track for these go-karts. Somebody freaking lit them on fire. Like do we live in Springfield? What the heck? So yeah, the other night, it's like smells like acrid tires, burning smoke, yuckiness. And yeah, it's just like my area is not passing the vibe check. I cannot wait for November 2nd, honestly. Um, let's get caught up on chat, and then I'm going to be off to do some errands. So Nikki says, I prefer Discord to Instagram and elsewhere. Yes. And I like to keep the Discord behind the paywall because I feel like then it's only people who really want to be there. You're not going to have people who are causing problems. And so, yeah, all of my favorite Discords that I'm in are behind a paywall. And yeah, and I know a lot of people just open up their Discords to everybody, and I was considering doing that, opening up like just certain areas to everybody, and then I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to have to worry about. I just don't want to worry about like troublemakers coming in or anything like that. Um, let's see. Mr. Fish says I should probably make lunch myself. So glad I was able to catch a stream. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll hit you up soon for episode 2 ideas. Yes, Mr. Fish. Gear Gets Mech Shop podcast. We should start thinking about the next one when I get back from PlayOn. Also, hello, Mark. How are you doing, my friend? Whoa, tire fire. Yeah. Mark says Tanya lives in the redneck hood of Canada. Verified. It's true. It's true. There are lots of big trucks. There's lots of hockey. There's rodeos everywhere. Like seriously, redneck hood. Um, Nikki says, "Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for the stream." Aw, thank you for joining in, Nikki. Uh, hey, Scorpion. Rebel Rousers, yeah. Solar Gray says, "I have 2 Discords. One free, one Patreon." That's a good idea too. I just don't have enough time to manage all of that. So that's going to be it for me. I'm super happy that my camera lasted the entire stream. I know we only did mouths on these guys, but I had to pick something fun to do for stream. That's also in my list. So, yeah, I'm going to post these in the Discord really soon. And yeah, if you have any questions for me, as always, like send me a message on Discord or on the Patreon. And if there's anything that you'd like to see from my trip down to PlayOn, let me know. I am going to bring my camera. I just am not good at blogging or vlogging, so I never think like what is going to be interesting for you all to see. So if there's anything that you'd like to see from my trip, let me know, and I can do some little videos for you. And if you want to paint minis, I hope that you can find the time to do so. If you want to play games, I hope that you do that as well. And until next time, everybody, be nice and roll dice. Bye.